Let me just welcome Tisca onto the program. Tisca, thank you so much for being with us.
My
We're
pleasure.
really working on how to clean up. Your thoughts on a lot of what we've been hearing and seeing.
First off, thank you so much for doing this, because I think there's a certain level of ennui that comes in when one talks about things like cleanliness, because the project, the scale of what we're talking about is so huge that people feel that they don't even know where to start. It's only somebody like you and NDTV who can sort of, with Mr. Bachchan, scale up the conversation and make it immediate, urgent and important. So thank you so much for bringing this up, because it's a deep concern for all of us. There's national embarrassment. You know, when you have friends coming internationally and they come and they look at your face and they say, not really, it's not the place. They have to sort of, you know, get past a lot of things. They have to ignore a lot of things, and that's very embarrassing, as I would imagine that we're world citizens. So, you know, when you see this, it's not nice at all. And I think education, if we start early, if somebody takes, Prime Minister Modi is giving so much attention to this, so if it can be put into the thought process from nursery, KG, class 1 onwards, then I think the indoctrination of this being a very urgent and important matter, almost as a subject every day, how to address, whether it's usage of toilets, other things, I think that would be a very good place to start. Going forward, because these generations, as they're maturing and coming to the forefront in the country, they will do more. As is, I personally believe what one of the students at Sherwood said, that stricter laws, the danda, as in Singapore, if you litter, you're in jail. There's a $500 fine.
But and tough to have a danda in a country of 1.3 billion people sometimes, Mr. Bachchan.
Yeah, I have 1.3 billion dandas.
That's a lot of dandas.
That's a lot of dandas.
You need lots of people to be wielding the dandas.
Yeah, I know. You know, I mean, these are laws that need to be made. There'll be discussions, there'll be suggestions. You know, the parliamentarians will have to discuss this and debate this, formed into law. It'll take a while. And whether we want to actually make it a law or not. But yes, if we start talking about it, maybe somebody will think about it. And therefore, yes, I would definitely say that we need to have some kind of strict procedure where somebody makes a traffic offense, gets away with it because the fee that they have to pay or the offense is not big enough. But I recently noticed that, you know, now the offenses have, the amounts have gone up. There's more regulation, there's more strict observance. The police forces are looking into it a lot more strictly. These are some of the things that we need to do as far as cleanliness is concerned also.
Also, I think in terms of actual practical steps that the government can take, 1.3 billion people also means that much taxes and that much correct allocation. I think there's nobody, कोई उत्तरदायित्व नहीं ले रहा है directly cleanliness का. There's no sort of ministry or minister or direct person who's responsible for cleanliness. So it stays to the level of just conversation and passing the buck.
Actually, there are a number of authorities, and that sometimes leads to divided authority, and depends on which city you are, because everyone is now talking about it. It has become a major national program. But, you know, frankly, in some of the things like not having toilets or accessible toilets, women often are the people who take the heaviest brunt of that. In the rural areas, they have nowhere to go, so they're having to go out into the open fields, and that has safety issues. And in the cities, one of the issues we were talking about, the absence of good, high-quality toilets, means that there's constant tension. Where do we go in case we need to go somewhere?
Absolutely. There's also one of the other things in fact, this came to light for me anyway when I was reading a film script, that it's when women are stepping out to relieve themselves is when the maximum number of attacks on them happen, because, you know, it's obviously done in a private space, and but in a quieter sort of in a field or wherever, and that leads to a lot of violence against them. So, you know, that's like a...
All right. Well, Tisca, thank you so much for coming across and joining us and for adding your voice to this. It means a lot to us.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.